Hey everyone. I'm going live on YouTube and Instagram, and so I'm going to be looking back and forth. But it's so awesome to see a bunch of you guys already here. And so I'll just kind of dive right in. If you have any initial questions, just go ahead and send them, and I'll try to fill them as I go. It's been really awesome to be back in a weird way. Part of me really misses being on the road because it was really awesome to have that unpredictability and just all the crazy things happening that I didn't expect. But I also missed my home, and I miss my dog, Boomy. And it's so good to see him. So I'm kind of reacclimating myself to life at home. But yeah, it's really cool to be back. Um, so just to kick it off, I'll talk a little bit about the tour with TesseracT the past 2 weeks. It's been just incredible all around. They were so kind to us the whole time, just super helpful. With it being our first tour, everything was new to us, and it was just awesome to have vets like them that would help us out throughout the thing. And it was also really awesome to just watch them every night. I mean, they're so good. They're just so talented and so like on point. And getting to watch them every night is something that I think I miss the most out of everything. And yeah, so we left. This is where I feel weird about the tours because I can't remember the time. Like 2 weeks ago feels like 2 years ago right now. And so I think we left about 2 weeks ago. It took us 2 days to get to California. And we slept in the van a lot, which is shocking because, you're used to sleeping in your bed. And then next thing you know, you're just like, oh, wow, I'm just like sleeping in a rest stop in the van. And we did get some hotels throughout the trip, but it was interesting to just kind of let go of the norm of having your routine and having your bed, and then just kind of bunking it out and wherever you can. So we got to California in 2 days, had our first show at Berkeley. It was so awesome. The venue was just really good to us, and it was interesting because they actually let us know that it was moved from a previous venue. Something happened, and they moved it, but it was just super awesome. And then obviously getting to meet TesseracT for the first time, and especially Dan, getting to talk to him in person was just like incredible. And then obviously we went up to Roseville and just kept winding our way up. It was pretty crazy because I was used to practicing and doing all the like show reps, but I wasn't used to having to talk to so many people during every show or after every show at the merch booth and meeting people and signing things and things like that. I actually ended up losing my voice, which was really scary for me. It was something that I hadn't really prepared for. But luckily, Dan Tompkins is an amazing vocal coach, and I actually ended up working with him a lot to work on some vocal techniques and some vocal rehab things to kind of get back. And it really helped me survive the tour. So that was a huge thing that I took away, was learning how to navigate vocal fatigue and just be better about saving my voice on tour. So that was awesome. But honestly, every show, every night, the crowds were just so cool, and people, come up afterwards and just be super appreciative. And I hadn't been to the West Coast in a long time, and I have some family there, so it was really cool to get back and see how things are these days. But yeah, just everyone was super awesome. It looks like people are asking about an East Coast tour. Funny enough, before this TesseracT tour came to happen, we actually were booked for an East Coast run, which fell through, unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties with the headlining band. I won't go into too much detail because it's not really my business, but it was just unfortunate because we were going to go out with our friends in Tulip, which would have been really cool because we love them. And yeah, they're just so awesome. This is moving really fast. So let me scroll a little bit. I have not had a chance to play the remaster of Oblivion, unfortunately. I only own a Switch. So it's not even out on that as far as I know. I'm a little bit not caught up on that, but last time I checked, it was not available on Switch. So I actually plan to get a Steam Deck and see if I can play it through there. And then maybe if I'm crazy enough, I'll try Elden Ring and see how that goes. I'm a little scared, but I think I'm going to try to do the Steam Deck thing and see how that goes because it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty user friendly, and I like that it's partially console and partially PC. So yeah. Let's see. Somebody asked, "What are my favorite pizza toppings?" Oof, that one is a sore spot for me. I actually cannot eat pizza. It's really sad. I am half Asian, and if you know anything about most Asian people, we're lactose intolerant, so cheese is a no-go, and I'm pretty good about staying off of that. I just don't wanna abuse my body and suffer any consequences, so I just don't eat cheese. If I can find vegan pizza, I'll eat it, but just because I grew up not eating a ton of pizza and cheese and things, it's not the most appealing thing to me. But I do like the crust, here and there. I like eating a nice classic crust. It's pretty good. But it is a sad existence when everyone's like, "Oh, let's get pizza," and I'm like, "Oh God, I don't want pizza." But yeah, sad. I did try Detroit style pizza last year, and that was pretty good because there was no cheese. It was like kimchi pizza or something, which, yeah, don't judge me for that, but it was really good. Oh, some of you guys are from the tour, and that's awesome. Someone from Salt Lake says hi. That was the first show I lost my voice, and I felt terrible emotionally. I was just like, wow, I cannot sing these high notes. And so I had to mid show dodge notes and cut parts, and do my best. And luckily, I could still scream, and that was very, very fortunate for me because I was like, I need to be able to perform something, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't, um, not giving you guys a show at all. So I was just glad I could scream at least, and then sing, lower parts and stuff like that. Somebody asked, what would your reaction be if Rockstar Games asked you for one of your songs to be in a GTA game? Man, absolutely. Any game that wants to use our songs, I'm down for. I was blown away when Ubisoft used Abandon for the Rainbow Six Siege Knock Elite trailer. That was just so crazy, and it was crazy because I didn't know about it until it came out, and then I was just seeing floods of comments that were like, "Who's here from RSS6 or RSS whatever?" And I was like, RuneScape? I used to play RuneScape when I was a kid, but that was obviously not it. And so I found the trailer, and it was just like, it was crazy because, it's Ubisoft. They're a huge gaming company. So I'm down for any gaming company that wants to utilize our music. I know we're getting deeper into the sync licensing and gaming stuff, so I am all for that. I saw a question here on Instagram. Question: the existence of Night Mother implies the existence of Night Father and Night Offspring. What do you have to say for yourself and about that? Well, Jeff, I know for a fact you don't play Skyrim, so you'd have no idea what you're saying. So Night Mommy is, is Night Mother from a quest line, and I would say that she is asexual and reproduces via budding and influential marketing. So I don't think she I don't think she needs a night daddy. I think she does fine just on her own, and we are the children if we become listeners. Okay, back to YouTube here. Let's see. Oh, we should tour with Ginger. Oh man, fuck yeah. Oh, I don't know if I should be cussing. Whatever. Anyways, yes, I would love to tour with Ginger. God, she's so awesome. Just she's inspiring in every way. Just the deep growl. And when I first heard Pisces, I was just like, yeah, this is it. Like this is a lady. I would love to tour with. Honestly, there's so many bands that I would love to tour with. I think there's only a short list of bands that I wouldn't be super stoked about, but um, yeah, I don't feel that picky. Um, what are foods you can eat that would be good for your voice? Ooh, um, I'm not a health expert, but for me, I just like to eat fairly healthy and take care of myself because I like to. And then in my head, I pretend that it's beneficial for my voice. So, yeah, just I eat like a ton of vegetables and fruits just because I like to. The band was making fun of me because when we first set off on our trip, I had a bag of just celery, like a bunch of celery, and I just started eating it because I knew it wasn't gonna last without refrigeration. It just la I think there's a video. I think Lauren, who did merch for us, I think she has a video of me just eating a bunch of celery. It's, uncouth. Okay. Oh, how did the idea of touring with Tesseract come about? Yeah, so this is kind of a crazy, winding path. So I think it was almost 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I've loved Tesseract forever. Like I've followed them for a long time and just always thought their music was the best because I'm super into cinematic music. I listen to a lot of soundtracks from movies, and finding them was just awesome because they have vocals and stuff like that. And so I decided to cover 7 names about a year and a half ago, and Dan ended up reacting to it, which was crazy because I don't think he ever does that to vocalists, and I actually asked about him about it on this tour. I was like, "Why did you react to that one?" And I think, it was just, like, perfect timing. They were on tour. I think he was kind of like, "I don't really do this stuff, but I'm gonna do this stuff," and he told me that it was, like, one of the best covers he'd ever heard, and that was insane because, I mean, to me, he's, like, god tier vocalist, so wild. But I was just honored that he did that. And then it was sometime later he hit me up to do a feature on a song for him, which I will not talk about any more than that. And then it was right after I delivered the vocals that he was like, "Hey, what are you doing for these dates?" And of course, I'm trying to be cool, and I was like, "Oh, let me check my calendar. I might be busy." No, I'm not. So I was not busy, and it just ended up working out. He hooked us up with their agent, and from there, it was just pretty easy, and we showed up for tour, and it was super awesome. Let's see. I think I missed someone on Instagram. Um, Someone asked if we were planning on coming to Oklahoma. I did just play Fort Worth. I know it's a little bit of a drive, but I imagine at some point we'll do some kind of Midwest, East Coast tour, maybe mix it up a little bit, come around that way because we really exclusively stayed on the West Coast for this Tesseract tour. And let me see. I see a lot of you guys actually were at the Rail Club. That was such an awesome show to kick it off. I'm really glad that we did that because it was just good practice to get out there in front of the crowds. But honestly, like you guys showed out for that. That was pretty crazy. I ended up having to order more merch that night because I was blown away with how much everyone ordered. So I kind of did an emergency tour merch order, and we had it shipped halfway through the tour. So that was awesome. And shout out to Whitney from True Lion for pulling that out for me because she's awesome and I love her. Somebody else asked, "What's my normal life like? Constantly working on new songs." Oh, my normal life is pretty hectic. I do work a full time job, and then I do Daedric as my moonlight. It's kind of like my other full time job. So I'm just up all the time. I basically don't sleep. That's why I look like this. Um, no, I'm just kidding. But I know I do stay up a lot, and I work on everything, in the back end of Daedric, from building the website to running ads to doing the creative, editing things. Luckily, I have a really awesome team that helps out with that. So it's not just me, but everyone does like such a great job, and it's cool to have people that you can rely on fully from every aspect of this. And obviously, having Fixed as our label, they're just super supportive to us, and kind of letting me do my own thing sometimes because I'm a little crazy and I like to just do a lot of stuff. So that's, if you can call that normal life. I mean, I do go outside and I get boba tea, and I work out and stuff. But a lot of my life really is Daedric because I love doing this. I like being an artist all around, not just um, writing songs. I'm doing things like drawing. Like this guy, I can't even point. That guy right there. drew that guy, and I still like to get back into that sometimes. I'm trying to transfer that into the more digital realm, and obviously doing things like creating the merch designs and stuff is a good segue into that. But I'm really trying to dive in more back into the true just art of it all, of filming, photography, all that, on top of doing vocals. So that's kind of what my normal life is. It's just a lot of experimentation, a lot of just being super busy all the time, and being okay with not sleeping a ton. Yeah. Oh, somebody said in the Philippines, singers boil ginger root and honey and drink it warm to soothe their vocal cords and keep them healthy. It's very good for your throat. Yes, I love ginger. I'm Filipino, so give me the Asian stuff. I actually used to just buy uh, like ginger root and just like literally cut it up, add it to my tea, and then add, God, what did I used to add? I think like tapioca pearls, like the little ones. And I would just, oh, and chia seeds, and I would just make like the grossest medicinal smoothie. Um, yeah, you guys would judge me if you saw that. It was gross, but it tasted really good. So I don't care what you say. Let's see. What would my dream tour be like? Locations, other bands, or groups you'd travel with? Ooh, I think I have 3 dream tours. Europe, obviously, I think that's everybody's dream. Japan, would be so sick, or maybe just an Asia tour in general. I would love to go to the Philippines and sing there. I didn't realize how many of my family members over there knew who I was, because we're just so far apart, and it'd be cool to go see them and perform there, in the Philippines. So maybe just like an Asia tour or island, East Asia tour, and then Australia would be another cool one. I know a lot of people are deterred by spiders and other large, scary reptiles, but I think Australia would be just super sick. And some of the best bands I know are from Australia, so I feel like you kind of have to. As far as who, oh shit. I mean, I feel like there could be so many different setups. There could be like a metalcore style, like an electronic heavy, a rock style tour, and I don't want to name band names. That would just take forever. But honestly, there's so many cool ones. I mean, as long as they're nice people, that's something I've learned. Is I want to be around good people, too. Along with good music. So as long as they're good people, I'm down. Let's see another question, and then I'll go back to talking a little bit about the tour. Do you and your band ever think about doing shows in Latin America? Which country would you choose? Oh, that's obviously another one. Um, I think there's so many just passionate music lovers down there. I mean, seeing just videos of every kind of music, it all throughout Latin America, from Brazil to Chile, Argentina, all the way, even I would include Mexico. I know Mexico's part of North America, but whatever. Um, I think from what I've heard from a lot of bands, the only deterrent really is traveling in and out. It's just it's kind of hard because you can't just take a bus like you can throughout the U.S. You have to fly to certain spots because of how difficult the terrain is. So I think that would be the only like actual deterrent, is the physical thing. But if I had the funds to do that, I mean, absolutely. I think everybody in Latin America is just super awesome and friendly, and we get a lot of comments on our videos from everyone down there, and I think it would be really cool to meet everybody. But yeah, okay. I had some other questions about the tour. What would I do differently if I could do the tour again? I would probably dial back the set list a little bit and add more instrumental breaks and let the guys just really show off for a minute while I take a break. We did build in a few segues and things like that during the show, but I think I would add more. I really wanted to highlight them more, and not just that, but also just give my voice a break. It was really hard to just do back-to-back songs and push that hard, because there's some really high notes, and then the screaming's not super hard on me, but obviously, just I need to breathe at some point. So that's what I would change. And then just obviously, if I knew Dan's vocal massage technique stuff, I would do that the first night, because I definitely pushed myself a little bit that first night. Let's see. My favorite city on that tour. Ooh, that is a toss up. It's hard to say because I really like the first two shows. The crowds there were so awesome. I felt like I was on my A game. I got to sing with TesseracT during the second show on Sacrifice. And then I think my other favorites were Portland, Seattle, Vancouver. I can't pick one. I don't know. Portland was awesome. Portland is a cool city. Like it's very eclectic. If you guys ever get a chance to visit Portland, there's a lot of just interesting curiosities to look at. Even just around the venue we were near, I walked around and got to check out the area. And then Seattle was super pretty, and we ended up eating out that night. And I just kind of ran around the city, and it was cool because it's just super like well lit, and there's cool architecture and stuff like that. So I literally ran in the city, and I would do that in every city if I could. I would just start running around and look like a crazy person. Um, and then Vancouver was also really pretty. Unfortunately, around the venue, I learned that there's a section that they allowed for like drug use for whatever reason. I need to look into the history more of that. And it was just honestly kind of sad, but the venue itself was really, really cool. And the people that came to the show were really cool. It's kind of, sad to think about the people that were just right outside that were homeless and on drugs and things like that. But, that city still left a mark on me for sure. Let's see. Let's pick up a few other questions. Oh, I just scrolled too fast. Give me a second. The Finals Fantasy. Ooh, any bands or artists you really want to collaborate with? Ooh, I really want to collaborate with. Maybe ones I'm not like overly intimidated by. There's some really amazingly technical artists that they kind of scare me. I mean, honestly, like watching TesseracT live, that kind of scares me. But obviously, I would love to collaborate with them. And what I would really love to do is sing on a soundtrack for a movie, like something crazy like Hans Zimmer, and then just be that like crazy vocalist in the back that's just making a bunch of noises. That'd be cool, or like Howard Shore or someone. Those are kind of left field, but let's see, who else would I want to collaborate with? Probably like people I've made friends with, like Lacuna Coil. They're really cool to me, and their music's really awesome. And just obviously Christina being an icon, and just getting to meet her was awesome. So I don't know, collaborating with them would be cool. I'm really bad at answering those questions because I just feel like I'm like, yeah, everybody just send me your stuff and I'll do whatever. Let's see. Someone asked, would I be willing to write a song for someone if they commissioned me? Yeah, I think I would. It wouldn't be like the cheapest thing because that's not a small feat to write a whole song, track it, mix it and all that. It's not free, but I think I would definitely do that, especially if it was something meaningful to you, and especially if I could deliver on the emotion of that. I think that would be really awesome. Oh, someone did ask me about Christina Scabia song collab. I mean, spam her. Just send her so many messages. Tell her. No, I'm just kidding. No, we chat a lot on Instagram. I'm sure someday I'm either gonna get her to feature on a Daedric song or some other way around, or even just honestly playing a show with them or touring with them. Someone asked, can you divulge some BTS processes of setting up a tour? There is so many logistics. Oh my God. Like you think you can just say, yeah, I'm on a tour and like the next day go. No, you have to like rent your vehicle, whether it's a van or RV or bandwagon or whatever you're going to do. You have to make sure that's set. And then with rentals these days, nothing's even guaranteed. So you're just like praying that the van's there or the thing is available. So that's the whole thing. I had a whole spreadsheet going, and then obviously the rest of the Daedric crew was helping facilitate this. We have a whole rack that we had to get set up and have the whole show set. And so Dylan, our guitarist, like he handled all that, and that's something I'm super grateful for. Him and Clay, they worked on that together, and making sure everyone's instruments are up to par, and whether we needed to order new gear, because there was a lot of that. It was a lot of testing of, is my mic going to hold up? And even halfway through the tour, we ended up switching my cap slot because it was making a ton of buzzy noise. And so it's stuff like that, just having backup stuff, having your gear, planning everything. We mapped everything out. In my spreadsheet, I even had miles to the next destination. We had some hotels pre-booked, some places to kind of stop and see and make sure that we were checking on all the things, and ordering merch. That's something you have to do, and ordering the right amount of merch, because that's the scary thing, is you don't know if you're ordering too much and you're going to end up with a ton of stuff left over and you've spent thousands of dollars on this merch, or you're not going to have enough and you're just going to show up to the show and people want to buy stuff and you have nothing to offer them, and you're like, well, shit, I wish I had something to give you. But that's why the show in Fort Worth was so important, because it gave me insight into how much we could potentially sell as we moved through it. And it was a good indicator for us, just seeing how much people were willing to buy and seeing what people were interested in as I was by the merch booth, listening to what they were saying about the merch. Did they like this shirt more, and why did they like it? Did they wish there was stuff on the back? That's all that stuff that I was listening to as people were talking, and it helps me as I go forward and design new merch. Is I realize, like, people want like graphics on the back and the front, and I've seen so many Reddit threads about people complaining about the tiny logo like here and then the big graphic on back, because a lot of us wear jackets and then you just see this tiny logo and you're like, this is so lame. I spent $40 on that shirt and I can't even show it. I actually used to wear my shirts backwards so I could have the graphic on the front, and people would be like, oh, your shirt's backwards, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like, I want to see the graphic. Like, I want to see the graphics, not for the person behind me. So I've learned that, like, do graphics on the front and the back, and do something really cool, and not just band name, logo. Like, do something cool, like make it interesting, and something that I would wear, because I don't wear a ton of graphic things, but if I did, I'd want it to be something sick. So that's like a lot of stuff. I just went way farther than I needed to. Let's see. So here is the best. Oh, there's a lot of questions I missed. Let's see. In what ways do you think the band's sound has evolved in the second album? Ooh, that's a great segue, because I have something to show you guys. Man, our band sound has really changed since Mortal. Not like we threw it all in the trash and it should burn in the fire, but like this new album, I've been listening to the demo like a crazy person. Like, I just have it in my phone and I just listen to it. It's both like heavier and faster, but also I think there's even some softer parts than nascent. I would say there's two songs in there that I love so much, and one of them I actually wrote thinking about like the anime scenes where the character is just at their all-time low. Think, Attack on Titan with Eren, when like he's just so like screaming and like just so dead inside. And then same with if you guys have seen Tokyo Ghoul, there's that scene with Kaneki where he's just like in the flowery place, and Riza's like talking to him and telling him like, you should just give up, and he's like, no. It's basically like that. It's like that scene was that scene for me when I wrote the song. So the sound of this album is fairly different. I would say it's foundationally supported by Mortal, but I think sonically we did some crazy shit. There was a turntable involved, so when you guys hear that, I want to see you guys comment that. That was a fun thing we did. But yeah, we got pretty crazy with that. I think I'm missing stuff on Instagram. Oh, it's because I don't know how to use this stuff. Wow. Are you working on a second? Oh, I just talked about second album. Yes. Yes, it's all coming out. So Night Mother was the first single. I've been instructed not to tell too much because I have a big mouth, and I talk a lot now. I used to be quiet, but not anymore. Somebody here asked, will you be doing more music videos, visuals when we release the album? Yes, I am. Those are all currently in the works. It's a lot of work to shoot a music video, and especially if you have to reshoot it because you're crazy. Me, I'm the crazy one. But yes, there's a lot of music videos coming, and I created all the visualizers for this album. So, segue. We have a new song dropping tomorrow that I am going to preview for you guys. But first, I've been instructed to instruct you to go to the website at daedricofficial.com, and then you'll see in the menu, there's a little tab that says As the Light Left, which is the name of our album. So if you click on that, you're going to see a page that looks kind of blank. And now it's up to you to find the hidden lore of this next single. Night Mother is already on there. So if you found that one, kudos to you. If you find the second one, the first person to comment the name of the new single, if I can scroll in time, oh my God, I'm gonna mess this up. Let's see. The first person to comment the name of that second single is gonna win all this stuff I have over here. Okay. It's like a bunch of stuff. So these are the hats. Oh God. These are the hats from tour. They're embroidered with the logo. So this is all going to be together, by the way. A signed copy of the Mortal CD, which I have yet to sign, but I will. This bag that I'll put everything in. It's like a cool tote that you can bring to festivals or whatever. And then this was my tour exclusive shirt I designed for Daedric. And that's that. So first person to name the, oh my God, I just saw someone name it. Okay. Okay. So I think it's somebody from, I'm going to have to check the timestamps on these. God damn it. You guys are so fast. Okay. I don't even know how to check that. Okay. So if whoever named, so Corminus on Instagram, if you will message me your address details and who was the first person from YouTube? I'm just going to do 2 people. God damn it. You guys are so fast. Okay. Okay. I think the first person is Real Pearl Mania. So Corminus from Instagram and Real Pearl Mania. If you guys will comment or actually DM me on Instagram, including, I don't know if YouTube doesn't have DM. So yeah, just go to my Instagram or email info@daedricofficial.com and send me your address details. I'll send both of you guys a package. Because yes, it is called Alien Skin. And the rest of you are losers. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm joking. I'm going to show you guys a short audio snippet of this, and I'll play that. So we're gonna listen to a little bit of Alien Skin, just enough to not completely leak it. So here we go. Can you see? that's all, folks. And then it goes into like the worst EDM breakdown you've ever heard. No, I'm just kidding. No, that was all I'm going to preview for now. It does drop in, depending on your time zone, like 3 hours for me, midnight for me. So that's 3.5 hours. But midnight for all you guys. We will have a visualizer out on YouTube for it. And fun fact, I think I wrote this song like 5 years ago. The initial version of this song I actually wrote like 5 years ago. So it was cool to kind of bring it into the fold for the second album and revisit it. And it actually was a good center point for us to build the album out and see that we knew we wanted something heavier than Mortal and more technical and faster. And I thought this was going to be the heaviest, fastest song, and it is not. So it's more of like a good medium for the album, I would say. The song feels like it's kind of like Night Mother, where it kind of feels like it has like its heaviness and it has the melodic stuff. So it has a good mix. And then there's going to be some songs that are way to either side of like super soft or super heavy. So I can't help it. I can't help being diverse on the albums. I can't do the same song over and over. I just want to like write a new song. So each one always sounds super different. Let's see. There's some other questions that I missed. Oh, we should tour Dying Wish. Hell yeah. I've seen some clips of them playing live. I love how they sound. They're just so heavy. They're definitely heavier than us, but that's okay. Yeah. Diversity. Yeah, that's true. We could open for them because they'll deliver the beat down. And that'd be awesome. It is not a collab. Somebody asked if Alien Skin is Alien Skin is a collab. No, it's not. That's me just a bunch of times. Yeah, we were actually going to do some features on this album, but sorry, I'm kind of congested from the tour. But we didn't actually end up doing those. So I just did everything. And I was like, it was like if you sing the male and female parts of the song and you just switch, it was like that. Like if you're singing, I don't know, Phantom of the Opera, and you're like, I'm the Phantom and Christine. And that's kind of how I felt in this album. Someone says, would you tour with Infected Rain? Hell yeah. And she's hot. I feel like they would be really cool to tour with. I feel like our sound is close enough to where it would be a pretty good fit. Yeah, just give me all the girls. I want to tour with all of them. Let's see. I found you on YouTube last year. Mortal was a suggested song. Oh, well. Thank you for sticking around. Oh, who discovered me from a VR game? What VR game is that? Not the... oh, was it Smash Drums? We did have a song on Smash Drums. I'm open for Trivium. Yeah. They're also just so good. Just I don't know how he does it. He just stands there and sings his heart out, Matty Heafy, and he also seems like just a good dude. Also, he's half Asian, so there's that. Let's see. Oh yeah, you guys in Australia do get our songs early. It's funny when I see like the behind the scenes like streaming stuff. It's like Australia, you can just see a few numbers playing. So that's really cool. Somebody asked, where are we from in the U.S.? Texas. We are very southern. Just kidding, I'm not. I don't know why I don't really have a strong accent. I was literally born in Austin, but I don't have like a real hard accent. Instead, I just sound like this. I did end up with a lisp, so you give some, whatever the saying is. Let's see. I saw more high notes from this album, like singing high notes. Oh yeah, Gore. Yeah, absolutely. I got a chance to meet Haley. She's super awesome. So yeah, absolutely, I would tour with them. And also, they also just seem like super cool people. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember Brody Lane. Someone says they also used to live in Austin. I grew up there, went to school there, everything. I was just always in Austin, and now I'm, up in Dallas, and it's very different here, I'll say. And as I went north and west, very, very different. It's pretty crazy to think that we're all in the same like contiguous United States, but then people in Berkeley, California, live wildly different than I do. Even just the food. Um, oh yeah, somebody brought up the gore monochrome thing. That was a fun little thing we did. Um, we just kind of did like a Instagram collab thing. And that would have been fun to have on the album, but I don't think sonically it would have fit. But it was still fun to do. Let's see. If you could be paid to write an original song for an anime, which would you pick? Like, which anime would I pick? I mean, I know Tokyo Ghoul's not running anymore, but that I I would write for that. I also really love the Parasite series, both the anime and the live action on Netflix. Those are so cool. Like that concept is really cool and also a little deranged. And I like how chaotic it is, especially with the animation style and the editing and stuff like that. So that would be cool. And I feel like I could write something equally chaotic to match that, like a fight scene or something cool. That would be cool. I like, yeah, Parasite would be one. Or who else would I want to write with? Write for? Maybe like Demon Hunter. That'd be cool. But yeah, I don't know. Any anime, any game. I'll give it all to me. I'll do it all. Let's see. Would Daedric consider doing a free set for a charity concert next year? Yeah. I mean, as long as we could get there without, just like breaking the bank. I mean, it is expensive to go out and tour, even if you like do the merch sales and get guarantees and things like that. Um, Bands of our size are just hoping to kind of break even and just do like a good job of not having to take out loans or like have a bunch of debt afterwards. So that would be the only thing is just making sure that we could financially do that and not do harm to the members in our band who also like take time off to do things like tours and shows and practice things like that. So yeah, absolutely. I am all for charity. I know it's been 2 years since I did the charity raffle for our local animal rescue, and I've been thinking about it a lot of like what can I do to support another charity to do something like that that just gives back to the community, and especially in these times where the economy is rough. There's so much going on. There's so many people that are in need, and um, even if none of us are super wealthy and can just donate $1 million to help these people, there's things that we can do as a community to help raise funds and do things. And even if it meant like volunteering my time, I used to do this all the time. I used to volunteer at my animal shelter and spend time bathing cats and dogs and feeding them and walking them and things like that. And even just something like that, as small as that is, that can make a difference and just help the shelters, or go into a soup kitchen or delivering things to help people that are just surviving, stuff like that. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, but obviously the bigger the event or things like that, the more impactful it could be. So that would be an amazing thing for us to do. And I absolutely do that. Somebody asked if I would collab with Johnny Hawkins from Nothing More. If you guys haven't heard Nothing More, they are so good. So yes, I would. He also has a crazy range. Just hearing him sing, he sings crazy in a good way. But yeah, I would absolutely want to collaborate with them. Oh yeah, you guys can see I don't know which way to point. You can see my Venom drawing back there. It's my favorite drawing I've ever done. So I just like to hang him up everywhere. I literally just hang it up on different walls in the house all the time. It's kind of weird. Okay. Anyways, how did you like Canada? So we were only in Canada for like a day and a night in Vancouver. Vancouver was really pretty. It looked a lot, obviously, like Washington, but I could tell the streets were super, super clean in the area that we stayed. obviously that area that I talked about earlier was quite rough, and it was really sad to see. But I do hope that something can be done to help the people there and help just I don't know, because I don't want to say like clean up the area. I don't think usually that entails things like pushing people out. I saw it when I was in Austin. I used to live on the east side, and I saw we had drug addicts, we had people like me that were on the poorer side, and um, seeing people get pushed out, that really sucked because it on paper it sounded good to like wash everything clean and rebuild and make it look pretty, but the reality is it just pushes people out and makes it even harder for them to survive. So I don't want to say that, um, but I would say Canada is a really cool place, and both ways in and out when we were meeting with the border agents, like they were super cool and just really nice, even though it was like 4 o'clock in the morning or something whenever we went through to Canada, and the guy was just super kind. And on the way back, they were just nice to us, and so yeah, I have no complaints about Canada. I think it's a really cool place. Um, let's see, who is my favorite non-metal singer? Ooh. Hmm. If you had asked me in like 7th grade, I would say Gerard Butler because I was obsessed with Phantom of the Opera. I would just listen to the soundtrack. I would play the movie over and over and just pretend I was Christine. And then at some point I was like, well, let me just do all the parts. So I just do all the parts. But I would say like Gerard Butler was one of my favorites, which is weird to say now because I think most people think of him as just an actor, not like not a singer. But who's my non-metal? I'm just gonna list some of my favorites from when I was a kid. I would say Christina Aguilera. I grew up listening to her a lot. Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. Ooh, who else is good? I think Sia's really sick. Yes, I have heard Nightwish's cover of that. That's also really cool. Also Antonio Banderas did a cover. Well, he gets a performance of it, and that was really good too. He's really good. Some of these actors surprise me that they can sing really well. Of course, I'm blanking on like every singer I know because when I'm asked a question, it's like just brain reset. But anyways, let's see. Do you have any artists that you look up to or someone who helped develop you where you are at in your career? Man, there's so many cool people I've met along the way. One of the very first being Cheney Crab from Entheos. I will always shout her out. I know I've said this a million times in like a million different places, but I hit her up like right before COVID when I was really getting interested in screaming, and she was like, I don't think Antheus was as big as they are now, but I remember what did I think. You know what? Actually, I had hit up Courtney from Spirit Box, and she wasn't giving lessons, but she referred me to Cheney, and then I did some like Skype things with Cheney back when Skype was real, and I did some Skype lessons with Cheney, and she was just super awesome. Um, and and so like getting to talk to her and just getting encouragement from her because I was really scared to scream. I was just like, man, I'm gonna ruin my voice. I love singing. If I can't sing, I'm gonna be really sad. And she helped me overcome a lot of the confidence issues and just get some of the initial noises out. So she's one that I'm always going to shout out. I think she's just a phenomenal person. Every time I chat with her, it's like, we've been friends for a long time, and it's like, even though I've actually never met her in real life, which I'm dying to, I need to meet her in real life. She's a big one for me. Meeting Dan Tompkins in person it was like meeting, like, I don't know, like a celebrity, because it's like I'd heard him for so long, and I'd listened to TesseracT for so long, and like hearing him sing, and then hearing him sing live, and then hearing him sing live every night, and then just talking with him and getting tips from him and just chatting and working on stuff together, like that was insane. And I still look up to him. I'm probably gonna always be a fan. Just I don't know if I'll ever be able to shake that, but he's just super awesome. Um, so yeah, those I would say those 2 people I really look up to. I've loved meeting just like wholesome people in this industry. I know many people get warned about, it can be a really hard place and there's not always the nicest people everywhere, but I've been very fortunate to meet a lot of the nice people. around and get to chat with them and just be a person. So yeah, that's been really cool. Let's see, somebody asked something here, and do I have a go-to song since I was a kid? I mean, obviously everything from Phantom of the Opera, but I grew up singing Reflections from Mulan and Part of Your World, and I still sing those songs. Every time I'm in the shower, I just sing Part of Your World. Somebody actually asked me that on tour. They're like, "What do you sing in the shower? Are you just like screaming in the shower?" And I was like, I just sing Part of Your World all the time. It's probably annoying to anyone who can hear me, but I just can't help it. I grew up on Disney. You can't really help that. I'm not a Disney adult, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, lots of Disney, so I can't help but sing that stuff. Let's see. Posters. Oh, I do. Oh, you know what? I do have some signed posters. We've been selling those on tour. Um, I'm gonna include that in the bundle. But I believe we also sell some on the Fixed merch store. So if you want any from there, the ones that I'm selling physically on tour are different prints. It's the Mortal album art, which I should have brought in here, but whatever, I'm here right now. And the other one is just a picture of me on a stool. When I say it like that, it sounds really dumb, but I promise it looks kind of cool. So um, so those are the posters. They don't really have anything on it besides just like a giant image. Um, but I do want to get some of like the full band. That would be cool. We should do that. Let's see. Do I know a band named Crypta? Yes. I actually follow Fernanda, and I think they are awesome. I mean, I love her like ferocity. She always makes like the craziest face. I guess people say that about me too, but she makes like these really cool faces, and I really like her energy a lot. I would love to meet them and just get to know them or play with them at all. I think that'd be cool. But that's pretty much all I know. Somebody asked, do you always side with the Stormcloaks, or have you ever gone to the dark side and back the Imperials? Ooh, I don't want to say that because I don't want to be a bad person. No, it's hard to pick because like either way you're having to like kill people, which that's kind of rude. But no, I think I've always backed the Stormcloaks just because I'm such a like fan of the underdog story and just thinking about all the Jarls that like need to have the uprising to take over. In my mind, they're the underdogs. So yeah, I'm always an underdog fan. And also I don't really like the Imperial clothes, like their skirts and stuff. So that's why I kill them because they're ugly. Their skirts are ugly. Um, petty reason why someone should die. No, not really. Let's see. Can we expect a blech in the upcoming album? Ooh, I'm gonna do one more higher, like a level higher than a blech. There's a song. We've actually been playing it on tour. So if any of you guys from the tour recognize it, it's like this crazy fast screaming song. And man, when I was running that, I was in an absolute feral place mentally. I was not well. I was very angry, and I was just like, I want something super feral sounding, like that's how I feel right now. The song needs to be scary and just intense. And so I would say for me, it's more heavy than a bleh. But there's definitely something like close to that for sure. So I don't know. I wouldn't say the word bleh in a song unless it's for like a reel or something. But yeah, there's something in there for you guys. Oh, somebody was going to ask about Dungeons and Dragons. Um, I know vaguely about Dungeons and Dragons. I've always wanted to play. Um, I've never played, but it looks cool. Somebody asked, how did I feel about Christina Scapia shouting me out? That was so awesome. And she really didn't have to do that. When I got to hang out with her when they came through Dallas, we hung out on their tour bus for a little bit before they left. And I was just like, that's so cool that, she did that for me and shouted me out and getting to chat with her. And now, now we added each other on the Pokemon Pocket like card game, if you guys play that. And it's really funny. I get to just like wonder pick her deck. And I don't know. It's been really cool to meet someone like that because she's been doing metal for ever, and still looks incredible, sounds incredible. If you guys caught them live, like, God, she sings, like, beautifully. Like, and it had been, like, their umpteenth show. I don't even know how many shows they were in, and, she just sounded flawless. So, yeah, it was really cool that she shouted me out, and even better to meet her and hear them in person. Let's see. Somebody asked, if I could scroll in time. Let's see. You can scream at us like a rabid dog. Yeah, definitely sometimes. It definitely sounds kinda animalistic. Um, let's see. Ever listened to Northlane? Yeah, I mean, God, when I was first learning to scream, I think that was my first run at a scream cover was 4D by Northlane because I was just like, "This Alien album is sick." It was just so fast and so like, "Do, do, 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 do," and I was like, "That's so cool." That cover sucks. I think it's somewhere on YouTube. You could probably find it, but it's so shit. But I was trying and I was trying to learn, so give myself a little grace, but I definitely don't wanna hear that back. I could do it better now, but, man, I love Northland. I would love to play a show with them too. Um, let's see. Full band with capes. I think we might get caught in some stuff. We already, have some visibility issues with the mask. It's kind of like, imagine going around like this. I think a cape would be a health and safety hazard for the guys. Um, Sometimes they've almost run into me and I've had to dodge them. But they do awesome for playing in mass, like to play the technical things that they are playing on guitar and drums. Like I I feel so bad that they have to wear masks, but they don't have to. I mean, but like it's part of like the vibe, and they've just been really cool um doing it, and they do it so well. And I don't know how they do it because I mean I guess if I'm singing it would be easy, but um yeah, I don't know how they, especially the guitarists, I don't know what are they looking at because I know that the field of vision is like little slots. So yeah, probably no capes in anytime soon. Maybe I'll wear a cape and I'll just be that that person that's like swishing on stage. Let's see. Somebody asked, how much has reaction channels like Metal Burb help you find new fans? So, him specifically, Metal Burb, I mean, he's one of my favorites just 'cause, I don't watch a lot of reaction channels, so I don't know everybody, but, I made, like, a pretty, like, cool connection with him early on, and he just was so, like, humble and, like, down to earth. He wasn't like, "Oh, pay me money and I'll do the thing." He was more like a real person, and, I interact with him still, somewhat on Instagram, and, um I really like the way he does his stuff. So there was one, he did a reaction to Mortal, gosh, like I guess it is 2 years ago now. That one still goes crazy on all the places. I don't know what it was, some magic voodoo he put in that video, but um his reaction to that one, it still drives a lot of fans to our channels, and I'm just really grateful for that. Because I don't know, what it would be like without that. And I'm honestly trying to find more people, not just reaction channels, but like artists to do things like dance to songs. Because I'm a dancer too. Like I've loved dancing. I was in ballet, tap, jazz. I've done all kinds of like burlesque things and stuff like that because I just love dancing. And I've always loved the idea of like dancing to a metal song. And I've seen some like belly dancers do it, and if no one else does it, I'm gonna do it at some point, because I just really like dancing. But I've always just loved the idea of having other creators, like other artists' styles, come in and dance to a song that they feel inspired to, or a painter paint something that they're inspired to. I know some of you guys have done some really cool fan art based off of the song. Some people have gotten some really cool tattoos, stuff like that. I would just love to see that, and it would be awesome because I love the idea of just being an artist through and through, and whatever that means for other people, whether they do like anime edits, which we've had some cool ones of, or they do their own, take of it. Like that's been really cool to see out there. So yeah, reaction channels plus, I think that those are all just really cool ways to interact with the community and not just be like, listen to me and me only, like go watch these other artists, go see them perform and do cool stuff. That includes, some part of me as well. Um, Somebody asked me what breed of dog is Boomy. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a photo of him. I had to close the door over there because he was in here earlier and I was afraid he was going to start barking. He's half border collie, half Sheltie, Shetland sheepdog. If you guys don't know, they're like imagine Lassie, but really tiny. Like sometimes they're like this big. Um, so he's half border collie, half Sheltie, and he's the cutest little guy. He's got little beady eyes, and he does crazy flips like parkour, and it's scary sometimes because it's like you just want to throw the ball, and you're just like catch it normal, like just jump and catch it like a normal retriever or something. And he's like, "No, watch this," and he'll do like this crazy flip, and you're just like, "Dude, like you are going to break your leg." So luckily he hasn't yet. But I'm just like, okay, you're getting a little older. Like maybe we just do some grounders. And he's just like, now I'm gonna slide tackle this ball, even though it's not going anywhere else. But yeah, he's my little buddy. Somebody on Instagram asked, "Am I planning on adding more tour dates?" Yes, I would love to tour at least one more tour this year, if not more. We do have a lot of music videos and stuff going on, so like the timing's a little crazy, especially this summer as I'm trying to finish up these music videos and things for the album. Um, but after that, and I would love to jump on another tour before the end of the year. That would be really awesome. Yes, and I would love to do it with any of our friends, and Gore and anyone, honestly. Let's see. Are you looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6? Yes, I just need to find time to game more. This tour honestly kind of helped me reset and realize like the guys in TesseracT were taking the time to play games. They were playing like Rust and Elden Ring and I mean even Pokemon. That's the only one I've had time to play recently. I just open packs because I like to see them. The Pokemon, but I don't like the new one. The new packs kind of suck. But like seeing the guys just like taking the time to game for themselves, I've realized like I really miss that. And we even went fishing, like doing stuff like that where I'm just like doing something for me that doesn't have to go back into the music itself. But I actually I caught 3 fish on this tour, so that was cool. But the line broke because I wish I'd saved the rod to show you guys. But it was this really shitty Moana themed rod, like for kids. Imagine like a little Disney rod, like maybe I don't know, like 2 or 3 feet. And as a joke, we were putting like worms on it and throwing in the lake. And Dan was over there like for real fishing. He had like 3 poles and he's like being serious and stuff. And I'm like, I'm gonna use this Moana rod and just like see what happens because nobody else was gonna fish with it. And I caught 3 fish in a row. It might have been the same fish, I don't know, but that fish was like eating it up because I was like, I am the worm, and I was fishing. But I think the rod string, because it was a kid's one, I think it was like the poundage was like I don't know, like a pound or something. That fish was easily like 6 or 7 pounds. It broke so fast, but it was cool because I was like, yeah, I caught fish. That was fun. I've realized in every game I play in open world, I'm always fishing. Like when I play Zelda, I go fishing. Like I'll literally go swimming and just go catch fish. And then in Pokemon, I'm always fishing. In Mario Party, I just play rumble fishing all the time. And I'm like, wow, I think I really just like fishing. So then fishing in real life was awesome because I'm actually good at it too. Sorry, I was like really excited to talk about that. I have no idea how I got there. Let's see. Do I play any instruments besides singing? I used to play piano as a kid. That's another thing I've wanted to get back into is just at least being able to play chords and sing along. But I do want to get back into playing that. I want to learn another instrument, so I'm not just a singer. Like I think being able to play other instruments is cool. I've tried things like guitar, and I think I have like the fingers to do those kinds of things. But I didn't really like the strings cutting into my finger. That kind of sucked. Let's see. I've noticed that the other band members are more present in the band's imagery. Is one of the goals of the new album to show them off more? Yeah. so when we first started this project, we didn't really have a band. It was really just me, and we were just making music and putting it out. And I was, the face of all of this. And I think essentially I still am kind of like the spokesperson of this. But it's been really awesome to find real band members. Like these guys are not only incredible musicians, but just the nicest people. They're so dedicated. They're wholesome. And honestly, being on this trip, if they weren't as awesome as they were, I can't imagine it going any better. Like they were just so cool. Everybody was always sharing. We were always trying to be just good to each other and very respectful all the time. There was a lot of farting in the van, which we can never forget. But still, I forgive them, and we survived. And yes, they absolutely destroyed live on stage as well as the van. They did not fart on stage, as far as I know, but they're just like the best. I mean, we're always helping each other load in, load out, set, do any kind of set adjustments, and they were a huge support for me on this tour, especially when I lost my voice. They were just like, it's okay. They were super supportive to me, and alongside with Dan helping me, they weren't there judging me and being like, harsh on me, because that was really hard on me emotionally, to be honest. And yes, you as well, Sean. Sean from JST, he ran sound for us on this tour, and he was also there, and he was an awesome support, and he made us sound great every night. So shout out to him. That's Sound Sean right there. And he took time off to fly down to Texas, stay with us for a little bit, and then drive with us all the way out to the West Coast. So that's cool. Somebody asked if we'll be added to the iHeartRadio Music Festival lineup. I have no idea. I don't know anything ever at all until I know it. So as of now, no. But I mean, that would be cool. I would be honored to be on any concerts. I just want to play. I love doing this shit. It's so awesome. Let's see. What's your thoughts about meet and greets for your next tour? I did a mini version of that on this tour, where basically after our set and before TesseracT, because I did not want to interfere with their set at all. I didn't want to like take away any attention from people watching them. But right before, we had about a 30-minute changeover, and I did spend time at the merch table meeting people and like signing things and just chatting, and that was really awesome. And I think it helped me mentally just understand where the crowd was after the set, because even when I was feeling low about, oh man, like I really like messed up these songs, and like it's like it ruined the show. Going down there, it was very humbling and also very encouraging, because the people were coming up to me and saying the kindest things, and saying that they enjoyed it, and that it sounded amazing, and they couldn't tell I sounded hoarse, or they couldn't tell this thing, and I was just like, that's just really awesome for me, and it was great to do that on both sides, I imagine. And man, some of my favorite moments were there was it happened two times. One time in Roseville, this little girl ran up to me and she's like, "It's my first concert, my first rock concert, and I didn't know that girls could do that like boys do on the stage, like the screaming." And I was like, that is the cutest thing. And she was so sweet. And I signed like stickers for her and chatted with her and encouraged her. She was an aspiring, little vocalist. And she was probably like, I don't know, like 10 or something. And then I was dumb and I forgot she was a child, and I was like, oh, drive safe. And the band was roasting me for like 2 days. They were like, drive safe. Like a little 10-year-old girl's gonna drive anywhere. And then it happened again in Boise. Lauren, our merch person, she texted me. She's like, "There's this little girl. She's been dying to meet you. Can you just come out?" And that was my hardest show emotionally. I was just like really in my head, and I was like, "I'm not going to go to the merch booth because I just feel so bad." And my voice was really not okay at that time. Um, and and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out there. I'm just gonna meet this one little girl. So I sneak around back and I meet her, and her mom had to hold her back. I think she was also, I don't know how old kids are these days. She was a little kid, like 8 or something. She like started sprinting towards me. And that was crazy, because I was just like, this little girl is so excited. She just cannot wait. And her mom grabbed her backpack and was like, honey, you could not just run at her. But I was like, "No, you can absolutely, run, come hug me, like, you're so cute." And it was just super wholesome because it's like it gives you this reality check that there are kids out there that need role models. They need role models in every aspect of the entertainment industry and especially metal. Seeing girls on stage and being inspired and being excited, like, and saying that could be me on there one day, like, that's so important. And it really truly was humbling for me. And there were a lot of adult women that came up to me and said the same thing of like they loved seeing a woman just like rock the stage. And um, it was just like just super cool to hear that. Because I never really thought I was just kind of like, anyone can do anything. Like, what's stopping you? Why are you scared? And hearing them speak to me, I realized that it is really important to have somebody that looks like you or somebody that seems like you in some way represent you. There were even people coming up to me saying, like, "Hey, are you Filipino?" And that was cool because, not a lot of Filipinos would probably do metal. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but from my mom, she always said, "You should sing." She always loves when I sing like Whitney Houston for her, and I'll send her video clips, and she's like, "I like this one, but I don't like the screaming." So I always assumed, like there weren't a lot of Filipinos doing metal, but I've actually met quite a few when I was in the Pacific Northwest because the community over there is quite vibrant. So that was really awesome. Somebody asked, "Do you and the band ever take a break together? Spend valuable time together, like having a cookout?" Yeah. We need to do more of it, honestly. But a lot of times when we practice, we'll just kind of hang out. We'll go get food or something. Dylan, one of the guitarists, he likes to make briskets, which is really funny to me because it's just like a lot of meat all the time. But Texas, so barbecue. We actually are planning to like try to do another hangout post tour because we were saying to each other, it's going to be so weird without you guys all around me. We were just always in close quarters all the time, whether it was hotels, the van, the venue. We were just like this little gaggle of people. And it's so strange to be separated now and, and kind of not exactly lonely, but it is very different feeling after being so close for so long. So um, definitely lots of hangouts. I love all of them. So I would absolutely hang out with them. Maybe we'll like play some games. Let's see. Somebody said any tabletop games you're into. I love board games. I have like no patience for things like Settlers of Catan though, so sorry. Um, I don't know why, like, I just don't really wanna sit there and play a super long game. Now maybe if it's like D&D where there's a story and we're acting and things like that, I think probably that. I do wanna try it someday. I think it'd be really fun. Um, I've thought about getting into playing Pokemon on tabletop, but then that would require me to, like, build a deck and haul it around, and, that just sounds like a lot. But I like board games, so, like, any games like that would be fun. Um, it says, "Who's a small band that you love that you feel more people should give a listen to?" Ooh, a small band. Threnody. We have played twice with them. They're local to DFW. They are incredible. Like they should be so much bigger. Austin, great vocalist, great stage presence. The whole band just super awesome. Another one, um, I mean, I think Gore's on their way. I don't think they need any help. Another one, Tulip, our good friends in Tulip. They're also they're from Canada, funny enough, and they also live here in Texas sometimes. And I love them. They have a new song coming out. Oh my God, please don't give it. I'm gonna get the day wrong, but it's like next week. They have a new song coming out next week that has a little Easter egg in it. So you guys should go follow Tulip and go check out their release that's coming out. Um, uh, Tulip is spelled like the flower. Threnody. How do I spell Threnody? It's like THRENODY. Love them. Um, And honestly, all the bands that we played at the Rail with, were really solid. I had never heard of any of them, but we played with, a band called States, but I think the A was like a V. They were really cool. It was like, I wanna say like post-hardcore, so if you're into that, they were really good. and another band called Realigned. God, I'm probably mixing up the genres. One of them was post-hardcore and one of them was like more rock. I think Realigned was more rock. They were also really good. And then Threnody, and then it was us. But yeah, those are some bands that I super respect. And they sounded solid. What did somebody say? My natural element must be water. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about it on tour, funny enough, because somebody asked me, actually, I think it was Dan. He asked me what my ethnicity was. And I was like, I'm half Filipino and I'm a quarter Greek and a quarter Swedish. And I was like, all of those are like ocean centric cultures. And then, not that I'm super into astrology, but like I'm a Pisces, which is like the fish or whatever. So I'm like fish things. So I'm like, oh yes, I love water. I like baths. I like taking baths a lot. I have drowned a couple times, but not permanently drowned, like temporarily drowned. So that sucked, but I still go on the water anyways. So I'd say I'm a good swimmer, but it was a rip tide, so that doesn't count. Um, don't call me out on that. Let's see. Let's see. What's a KC appearance? How about a KC appearance? Oh, like Kentucky? Oh, wait, no, that's not Kentucky. Kentucky's KY. What the heck is KC appearance? I don't know what that is. Somebody offered to drive for us. I mean, if I could change anything about the tour, God, that's what I would change, is not having to drive because it was really hard. Somebody would have to drive overnight. A lot of times it was Trevor, our drummer, who's a really phenomenal driver and drummer. But he was just like having to power through, and a lot of us we would switch and drive. That was rough. If I could spend the extra money to get someone to drive for us, yeah, I would absolutely hire a driver. So would love that because that was hard to try to sleep and then knowing, somebody's got to switch out because that person's suffering up there driving in the middle of the night. Let's see. Somebody said KC is Kansas City. Oh, that makes so much more sense. Yeah, I'd play in Kansas City. We played, I guess close enough. It was Covington, Kentucky. I don't know how close that is. So, don't be mad, but we played there when it was last year. So yeah, I think we're due an East and Midwest tour at some point. And especially the East Coast, I've wanted to go back and check that out. And I've actually never been to a show out there, so that would be really cool to see. Let's see. So somebody said, "Oh my god, I have to read this out loud because it's so funny." My 6-year-old daughter and I love watching your videos together. She calls you the yak woman because of the horns in the wretched video. Oh my god, I'm dead. Okay, that's so funny. Yeah. The yak woman. Oh man, when I wore those horns, I was like, these look so dumb. But then, I was convinced to wear them, so they're there in that video. But I have since changed my vibe. Yak woman. That's so funny. Somebody said, Kristyn makes a mean blank. What do you love to cook or prepare as food? So I actually love baking. Baking is like a crazy secret passion of mine. I love making cheesecakes. I love making cakes, cookies, like any kind of bakery item, like is really fun for me to experiment with, especially with people that have like dietary restrictions. Like I have to eat vegan stuff because I can't have dairy and I can't have eggs. So I have to make like vegan stuff, and that stuff pretty much always sucks. And I just don't really eat it in real life. So if I get a chance to experiment, I'll make something, or I'll try keto stuff for people that are keto and cannot have gluten or sugar. So that's really fun to play with and just make for people and make it taste good and not like weirdly overly sweet and nasty. That's fun. But another thing I like to make is traditional Filipino dishes. I've really tried to dive into my mom's culture and learn a lot of the cooking there. So I've made pancit. If you guys know what pancit is, it's like a noodle dish, super awesome. If you don't like weird foods, this would be the weird food to try because it's just very normal. It's like imagine fried rice, but with noodles. Really fun to make, super easy. I've made lumpia. Lumpia is like just basically an egg roll, but instead of a bunch of like veggies and cabbage, it has meat. It's usually pork. And I have made like vegan versions. I've made vegetarian. I've made shrimp. But lumpia's that's the hardest one to make because you have to roll all the little things. And I was like, oh my god, this takes forever. And then the most recently, I made pico, which pico is it's like brown sugar coconut rice. So it's like a coconut rice pudding, and then you bake it like a few times, and you put like a brown sugar layer, and it's like it's this really sticky rice, and it's awesome. But I love diving into my mom's like cultural foods and trying those for myself and modifying it to whomever is eating it. But yeah, actually, I really love baking. Cooking makes me tired, but I do it just because I think you need to have some skills around that. Um, Somebody said, "Are you and your band friends before, or how did you guys sync up?" Yeah, I think we were all friends before, and it's just I know we met Trevor through Logan Young with the collab that I did with him, Racing the Parallel. He's like, "I know this drummer. He's super awesome." We had him play for that music video, and then ever since then, I think we've just stayed connected. I think Clay met Dylan through someone else a while back, and it's all just kind of funneled in together and really worked out. But yeah, I think we're friends first and bandmates second, and sometimes that obviously flops around as needed. But I would say for sure they're my friends. Um, I'll answer a few more and then probably go because I'm sure Boomy is sad. He's probably all alone. Let's see. You're a Friends character, which is like the show, I guess. Which one are you and why? Oh my god, I actually have never watched that show. Um, I didn't watch Friends. I'm sorry. Uh, yeah, I was not into like sitcoms, super, super duper. On Instagram, somebody asked me who's my dream collab. I kind of answered that one earlier, but honestly, like anyone, it would be cool to do something like way out of bounds of like doing like a rap feature or I don't know, a pop or just something out there that would be awesome. Like someone crazy, like intimidating, like Kendrick Lamar. I don't know if that wouldn't even make sense. I don't know, but I mean, seeing Courtney and Spirit Box do it with Megan Thee Stallion, like that was really cool to see because it's like not something you'd think of. But I listen to all kinds of music, and I'm always interested in just exploring all of it. I'm not just a metalhead. I'm not just like only listening to metal. I listen to everything. I would actually argue I listen to other types of music more than I listen to metal, just because I like to bring in so many ideas into my head. Somebody asked when I'm playing Dallas again. Probably not for a little while. Um, I don't want to play too much in the same area, but also we just have a lot going on. So if it makes sense, if the show makes sense, and it's a good time, then obviously I'll play that. But as of yet, nothing planned for Dallas. But I won't say no. Um, let's see. Is Alyssa White one to collab with from Arch Enemy? Yeah, I mean, she's super cool too. I love her scream. She sounds like always just like so deep and so guttural. Um, and let's see, would you ever consider streaming more? This tour really did change me. I remember trying some OBS live streaming from my Switch to the computer to Twitch, and I saw the Twitch account. And I know I need to get back into it more. I know I need to make a Discord. Somebody said that earlier, and I know the idea of like managing more things is kind of a lot, but I do want to kind of get back into streaming, especially if I do actually end up getting a stream deck and playing Elden Ring and playing the more Elder Scrolls stuff. I think it would be really fun because then you guys can see that I just play very chaotically. I wouldn't say I'm like an amazing gamer. I'm not just like blitzing through things. Like I'm like screaming and jumping off mountains and like seeing how far I can catapult myself. I do get through the quests, but it is quite chaotic. Quite chaotic. Um I see somebody's asking about commissioning for a song. I would send an email to me at info@daedricofficial.com, for things like collabs, features, requests. That's all fielded through our management there, and whether that goes to Daedric or, through a side feature through Kristyn Hope, that just kinda depends on, a lot of factors. So if you guys want anything of that nature, go ahead and send an email, and we'll try to get back to you guys. It does get kind of crazy, so if it gets lost, I apologize. But I do try my best, along with the rest of the team, to try to check emails and be on top of that if we can. Um, let's see. I think I'm going to head out because I have to go take care of Boomy. But thank you guys once again. Alien Skin is dropping in now less than 3 hours on my time. For people that are in the future, like Australia, it's probably already out for you or close to being out. So I would say just let me know what you guys think of this song. This song is just like a huge center point of the album in terms of how we wrote the album. So I'm really interested to hear what you guys think of it. And yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys next time. It was great chatting with you.